We all know that cycling an aquarium is the most important part of this hobby, and it's the fundamental thing that you need to understand about keeping a glass box full of water. Today, I want to talk about a new product for doing a fishless cycle, which is very cool. It's not something I normally do, but this one has me interested. Hey folks, it's John with KeepFishKeeping.com, and I know what you're thinking. Oh no, another video about the aquarium cycle. John's done 20 videos about this. It's pretty much all he knows about is the cycle. Well, like I said in the intro, it is one of the absolute most fundamental things that we need to master as fish keepers if we're gonna be successful in this hobby. So don't worry, this video is gonna be very different from all the other ones that I've done. Today we're going to talk about this little bottle right here, which is a brand new product from Fritz called Fishless Fuel. This is another way of cycling an aquarium, and it's going to be a way that a lot of people are going to prefer because there are so many people out there that believe wholeheartedly in cycling an aquarium before adding fish, hence the name Fishless. So yes, we're going to talk thoroughly about this product. I'm going to do a little demo of this product in this little tank right here. But first we got to talk about what the cycle is. Understanding what the nitrogen cycle is not as complicated as it may seem. Here's how it works in a nutshell. You have a glass box full of water, and in that box there's fish swimming around all day long, eating and pooping. What do you think happens to the poop and the uneaten food? Well, it rots, and when it rots, it causes ammonia. And ammonia is lethal for your fish. Think of it like you being in a room that's slowly filling up with smoke. As it fills up, you'll start being short of breath, your lungs will start to burn, and eventually you'll suffocate. Well, this is exactly what's happening to your fish as the tank starts filling up with ammonia. Luckily, nature intervenes and converts that toxic ammonia to nitrate, but the bad news is this doesn't happen in a brand new aquarium. See, this is where things can get a little bit complicated. This is where we can lose a few people. There's bacteria that grows in your aquarium. This is good bacteria because this bacteria is what converts ammonia down to nitrite and then nitrite to nitrate, which is much less toxic for your fish. But the problem is a brand new aquarium like this one doesn't have any of that bacteria in it. Well, the development of that bacteria is what we call the cycle. So where does this bacteria come from? Well, again, this is where we lose a lot of people because it can be a little bit confusing, but the bacteria doesn't develop unless it has an ammonia source. This means if there's no ammonia in the tank from fish waste or rotten fish food, there's no opportunity for this bacteria to grow. I can't tell you how many times I've had people say, I don't understand. I let my aquarium run for an entire month before I put fish in it and things should have been perfect. Well, this simply isn't the case. If you just put water in the tank and you don't introduce an ammonia source, there's never going to be any opportunity for that bacteria to grow. Oh, I'm so confused. Okay, let's calm down here. Let's simplify things. If you start up your aquarium and you run your filters and you do all of that kind of stuff and you don't put any fish in it and you let it run for a month, when you test the water after that month, it's going to be exactly the same as it was the day you started it because you didn't introduce any ammonia to it. So we need to introduce ammonia into the tank so that we can boost the growth of that bacteria. I hope that's making more sense. So does this mean you should just throw fish in it then? Feed them, let them poop, and hope the bacteria shows up in time for it to kill the ammonia? Well, you can, but to be honest, I wouldn't. Unless you're someone that is very well experienced in fish keeping and you know what to do if the ammonia does get out of control, that's not a method that I would try. So what do you do? Well, there's several different strategies to cycling an aquarium. You have fish in cycles and then you have fishless cycles, which is what we're talking about here today. But with a fish in cycle, you would end up wanting to use a product like Fritz or Quick Start. I know Fluval has one. I don't know if they still call it cycle, but there's plenty of products out there that are live bacteria in a bottle that will boost the growth of this bacteria, and you go ahead and add your ammonia source, which in that case would be live fish, and then fish food and fish poop and all of that kind of stuff. You go on business as usual. But this is a little bit more of an advanced way of doing things because you really do need to know how to react if things do go bad. These products work great. I use them all the time, but it's not absolutely foolproof. So what a lot of people want to do instead is they want to do the fishless cycle. They want to get the aquarium going, get it fully cycled and have it ready before they ever introduce fish into it because they don't want to run the risk of hurting the fish. And I totally get that. It's definitely the way to do it without risking fish, without hurting fish, because trust me, I don't know this for fact, but I would bet everything I have that the aquarium cycle kills more fish than anything else. So I understand wanting to have it ready before you put fish in there to just not run that risk. So if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna cycle an aquarium without fish in it, like I said earlier, nothing's gonna happen unless you introduce an ammonia source. That ammonia source can be fish food. It's a very common thing that people do. They'll just throw fish food in there. Even though there's no fish in there to eat it, the food's gonna go down to the bottom, it's gonna rot, it's gonna create ammonia. Once the ammonia is there, the bacteria will grow and things will get on their way. This is not a guaranteed way of doing it though, because you don't know how much food to throw in there. And it can be pretty costly because you're just constantly throwing food in there, waiting for that ammonia to spike. Back in the day, there were people that, I've never seen this done, but there were people that would pee in their aquariums. In fact, I did a funny little thing in a video like 5 years ago where I was acting like I was peeing in an aquarium and Lisa walked in and yelled at me and it was a lot of fun. I wish I knew what video that was, but I've never tried that and I definitely don't suggest you pee in your aquarium. Apparently we have a lot of ammonia in our urine, but anyway, there's also powdered ammonia. Who knows what the chemical is called. I don't know where you get that. I don't know if it's something that's as simple as going to Home Depot and getting, or you have to go to a special chemical supplier. I don't know where you get it, but you would take that powder and you would put it in the aquarium. That would immediately cause the ammonia, and then again, you can get the cycle started that way. But I don't like that idea, mainly because of this product right here, because this is gonna be that ammonia source for you. You put this in the aquarium, there's your ammonia, then you could add something like this to combat that ammonia. Once that ammonia goes down, you know things are on their way and things are gonna be ready for fish that much faster, and it's easier than just dumping a bunch of fish food in there. All right, so to recap, we have an aquarium that is full of water straight out of the tap. We want to introduce an ammonia source to this tank so that we can get the whole cycle started. What I'm gonna do here is I'm going to put this product in here and then we're gonna do a test on it. We'll give it a few minutes and then we'll do a test on it to see what the levels are at. This is right out of my tap, and no, your eyes are not playing tricks on you. This is my second time recording this. I was doing it, I put this in there, I filled up my vial for the master test kit, and I held it like this, and I was putting my drops in it to do the test, and the whole thing fell in the water. So I said, you know what, scrap it, we gotta start all over again. So I filled this back up. If you see the water line is a little different or something like that, I'm not playing tricks on you, I'm just correcting my mistakes. So this product says that if you want a test of 2 parts per million, you add 6 drops per gallon. Let me just check 4 drops per gallon. You would think I would know. 4 drops per gallon. This is about 2 gallons in here. It's a 2.5 gallon tank. It might be a little less than 2 gallons. That's to get the ammonia to 2 parts per million. I want it to actually go a little higher than that. So rather than putting 8 drops in here, I'm gonna put 16 drops in here so that we can get the ammonia up to what hopefully will be 4 parts per million. That's when you really know that that ammonia is present and you can get this thing going. So I'm gonna add 16 drops straight from the bottle. It comes with a nice little dropper lid.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
There we go.
Mix it up.
It does not say anything on the bottle about waiting a certain amount of time for it to take effect. As far as I know, it's instant. So we're gonna go ahead and test it right now, right after we've done the addition of the product to it. If you're not familiar with this API Master Test Kit, you need to be, because this is something that should be in every single fish room. This is, in my opinion, the easiest to use, best test kit out there. Anybody can do it. It's very, very simple. I'm not gonna make that mistake again. I'm not gonna do that. Let me get another drop out of there. It's a little...
One drop, that's all we need, one drop.
There we go, we're right on the line. You got a line on the little vial here to fill it up, and then you add your solutions. The ammonia is actually 2 solutions, and it requires 8 drops per bottle.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That's in, we shake it up, and now we wait. But while we wait, I'm gonna let that sit right there. While we wait, we gotta talk about what you would do next if this was the strategy that you were gonna be implementing into your aquarium. This is probably the 3rd or 4th time I've said this in the video, and I'm probably gonna say it a couple more times. This product is not to be used with fish in the tank. We don't want our fish exposed to ammonia. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put this product in there, get that ammonia up, and now we need to introduce bacteria into the tank. It will develop naturally, but we ain't got time for that. We wanna speed the process up. So using a product like Fritz is a great way to do that. There are other products too. I'm not just doing a sales pitch for my website. There's great products out there, like Quick Start from API is a great product. And there's others too. Fluval has one, Dr. Tim's has one. Those are all live bacteria products that you can put into your aquariums to get the cycle going. Fritz was the first though, so you need to know that. But they say they're the first anyway. I don't know. But that's what you're gonna wanna do, is get this, once you have the ammonia in the tank, boy is that thing green already. So you've got your ammonia in there because you introduced it with this. And so once you add this, the bacteria is gonna feed on that ammonia. It's gonna convert it to nitrite, and then from nitrite to nitrate. Once you have nitrates in the aquarium, you know that the bacteria is doing its job. Nitrates aren't good for fish either, but they're far less toxic than nitrite or ammonia. We haven't talked much about nitrite in this video because we're talking about introducing ammonia into the aquarium, but nitrite is like the little brother to ammonia, just as lethal as ammonia is. If you have nitrite or ammonia in your aquarium's not cycled, or maybe you had a spike because you damaged the cycle in some kind of a way. The cycle is something that's always going to be happening. It's always in there, and you can make alterations to your aquarium, do a severe maintenance, add a bunch of new fish, which increases the bioload. All of these things can actually cause your cycle to crash. And if that happens, you're in trouble. You need to get products like this. You need to do a lot of water changes so you can get that thing back on track again. Obviously, at that point, you have all your fish in there. You would not add a product like this because then you'd basically be poisoning your fish. But the point is, when you put products like this in there, you're introducing bacteria into the tank, which is going to feed on the ammonia, convert it to nitrite, and then to nitrate. When it's nitrate, that's when your aquarium is cycled. It's the #1 question about cycling is, how do I know when my tank is cycled? You know when you have 0 ammonia, 0 nitrite, and you have nitrates. That's when you know that the bacteria is there and it's doing its job. Look at that vial right there. It's vile, isn't it? Good grief. It's not the darkest. Let me get this closer to the camera for you. It's not the darkest green on the chart, but it's pretty daggone close. My index finger right here is the ammonia test. You line that up there and see where it compares. And it's a little darker than 4 parts per million, but not as dark as 8 parts per million. So this thing did its job. The ammonia is there. This is a beautiful thing. This is what we want. This is the only time as fish keepers we want ammonia in our tank, because now we know we can go to the next step. So again, the next step would be adding a product like this, which will introduce that bacteria and get the cycle going. So yeah, there is your crash course on fishless cycles. It's easy. This is easy when you use something like this. Now, I've been doing this a long time. I know how to react when there's a problem, and I know how to cycle an aquarium, and I can confidently cycle an aquarium with fish in it, and that's the way I do it. But there are a lot of people that don't want to do that. They don't want to risk hurting fish, and I totally understand it. I don't want to hurt fish either, but when I'm cycling an aquarium with fish in it, I'm constantly testing. I'm constantly monitoring, I'm constantly observing, and I can immediately react if things go bad before it hurts the fish. But if you're brand new to this, you might not know what to look for. You might not have that confidence that I do, and so you might want to take care of the cycle prior to putting fish in there. I definitely think that that's a good idea. I think you'll be a responsible fish keeper right off the bat doing it that way, and this is a great way to do it rather than peeing in the tank or buying some kind of ammonia powder or something like that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know where you get that stuff, but that's another way of doing it. But when you have a product like this, it's super cheap. It's only a few bucks per bottle. Why would you do that? And I mean, it took 16 drops to get this dark green. This dark green is the enemy to every single fish keeper on planet Earth. But right now, for this demonstration purposes, this is actually a beautiful thing because it's showing the product is working. So this is the one and only time I've ever been glad to see that vial be green. So yeah, it's a great way to cycle an aquarium without putting fish in there and risking their health and having them be in that room filling up with smoke and suffocating. We don't want to do that to our fish. So this is available right now on keepfishkeeping.com. It's under the aquarium chemicals button on the side of the website. So if you want to get a bottle of this, I had somebody the other day order 5 bottles of this because they were setting up multiple tanks in a fish room. So very, very cool. I mean, 1 bottle will absolutely go a long way. It actually says treats 300 gallons. This is only something that you're going to want to put into the tank one time. You get that dark green, this is the only time we want to see that. And then we put this in there to introduce the bacteria. Bacteria starts eating up that ammonia, converting it to nitrite, and then to nitrate. We know we're good to go. Once those nitrates are there, we can go wherever we're going to go and get our fish. In a couple of months, you're going to be able to go to keepfishkeeping.com and order betas. If you want a beta, everybody should have a beta. If you don't have one, you should get one, and you should get it from us because we're going to have some of the best out there. But anyway, I'm rambling at this point. I am very happy with the results of this. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not the first time I've done this. It's the first time I've done it on camera. I did this. They sent me some test bottles of this to see if it was a product that I wanted to carry on the website. When I saw this, I said, yes, please. Even though fishless cycling is not really my style, I think it's definitely something that's good for fish keepers, or new fish keepers. So I said yes, and I ordered a whole bunch of it. So very, very cool. I like it. I like products that work. I like products that make things easier. And if you're a fishless cycle person, this is definitely going to make your life easier. So there you go. I don't have any more to say about it. Thank you, Fritz, for creating a really cool product that does what it's supposed to do. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to join us 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Thursday nights. Lisa and I go live from sitting right here. I'm actually in Lisa's chair. We go live every single Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tank Talk Live. We have a lot of fun. So you'll want to join us there. KeepFishKeeping.com if you want to order some of this or anything else. We even have these. So thank you again for watching. I'll see you next time.